did you watch the Raw after WrestleMania?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so Triple H comes out, and he came to thank the fans and said, listen, 24 hours ago, the fans made something very special happen. He said, I can now really tell you that was the greatest WrestleMania of all time. Isn't that funny? And bro, too, you know what I'm super interested in is when all this started, they started documenting everything, and there's going to be a documentary on how this all changed. You know, which was stuff that I'd love to hear the thought processes that went through these things with it, which, you know, because The Rock has not been shy about breaking kayfabe here and talking about this stuff, you know, because he's an actor. You know, that's what he's like in the actors lounge afterwards talking about the thing, you know.
Yeah, I saw that trailer where it was like Cody and it was Paul and it was The Rock and Roman. You know, so they're going to go behind the scenes, and it's going to be very interesting because it'll be the first time we've seen this.
Well, I want to hear like what some of the hopefully they put some of the TKO brass in it too, and like hear what they're saying. Yeah, you know. So, that should be very interesting. I can't wait to see that.
Look at that split in the quarter hours, Di for the what do you call it? 8:30 to 8:45 went up to 3.19 million.
Yeah, is that crazy?
Yeah.
Okay, so the show starts out, 100. Yeah. They did a monster. They did 2.2 million on Monday. That's like that's a good that's a SmackDown number usually. So I don't know. This is a very long promo segment when Cody came out. You know, he just thanked the fans, all everything, and then The Rock comes out, and bro, this just went on forever, and the fans were chanting like, "This is awkward," and they basically, said, "Can I let me hold your belt?" They held each other's belts. Rock said there'd be no blood spilled. He just wanted to give Cody his flowers. Said Cody didn't complete the story. Spoke about things he did to Cody and said Cody still got it done. And basically giving him kind of like his props here. Rock said Cody finished the story and it's a brand new belt, which Rock called the beautiful. I'll point out the American Nightmare side plates. Rock responded to a fan who called his belt fake, and Rock said it was given to him by Lonnie Ali. Rock asked Cody if he could hold his title, and Rock said there'd be no fireworks or harm. He spoke about holding a lot of titles during his career, but he said he never held the one that Cody had. Cody told Rock that he should hold his title for a moment as long as Rock let him hold his title. Rock agreed and said he would be honored to let him hold the People's Champion's title, and they slowly swapped belts. Rock said it felt just right while he had the belt over his shoulder, and Rock thanked Cody, and they swapped belts again, and Rock said he has to go away for a little while, and said he didn't want to leave because he loves pro wrestling and made it cool again along with Cody. And the crowd sang the goodbye song, which Rock smiled in response to. The Rock told Cody to remember when he comes back, whether Cody's champion or not, he was coming back for him. Cody said, I'm looking forward to it. Rock said he and the world were looking forward to it. And Rock said he had one more thing Cody didn't know. He said he could beat Reigns. Rock said Cody beat Reigns in the middle of the ring 1, 2, 3. And Rock said, listen, 24 hours before that, he beat Cody in the middle of the ring 1, 2, 3. He said Cody beat him, and that story's over. And the Rock removed his shade and said, but our story has just begun. Cody said he believes that because Rock is the boss. Cody said Rock is a final boss, and he's also the TK board of directors that makes him his literal boss. But Cody said he's the champion, and Cody looked at the crowd and said he is their champion, and boss said means I'm your champion. Rock nodded and said Cody is their champion, the world champion, he is his champion, and Rock said he had one more thing before he went off into the sunset. He said he had something to give to Cody, and there would be no fireworks. He reached in his pocket and told Cody to give him his hand. Then Rock slipped something in Cody's hand. Rock told Cody that he didn't have to open his hand and know what it was. Don't you ever break my heart again. If you smell what the final boss is cooking, the Rock music played, and we go back, and Cody opened up his hand, and the thing exploded in his face, and his face caught on fire. Well, that's the last part didn't actually happen, but there's a mystery. They leave us with a question, and that's soap opera storytelling. What did Rock hand Cody? And that's what you do in a soap opera. You end with a question for the future. So
cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger.
All right.
What do you think of this?
I can't add much more to them. What you just said, it was a very, very long segment. Hunter comes out, huge pop. He introduces Cody, hugs him, says he's the new face of the new era, whatever he said. Boom. Cody's in there, puts the belt on the floor, kisses it. The Rock comes out, right? And I love this part right here. I love when the crowd started to tell him, what? Right. And then he said something like, I'll tell you what, Philadelphia just broke another record, and everybody, for the most trailer park trash in one place. Some people booed, some people, cheered. And then I love this. And then Rock goes, why don't you chant that again or shut up? And they muted him. I love Surly Rock. He's going to say it, and you need to mute it because I'm going to say it.
Here's the thing is that, Rock is being a heel
Right.
But there was still always the potential that he'd get booed, get cheered.
Right.
So he had to kind of be kind of like a vulgar heel.
Right.
And it's like, you really are, like this audience really won't cheer the vulgar heel because there's not a lot of cussing on this show.
Plus, the great thing, but the other great thing is that it's so unlike anything we've seen him do. And it's almost like if Cena were to come out and turn heel and start saying this, you know what I'm saying?
Imagine what a character he would have been if Vince McMahon would have pulled the trigger like they did with Roman Reigns. You know?
Right. Yeah. And so that was great. All right. And then the fans started to tell him shut up, and they had to censor that. So great crowd participation. So it's opening up good.
Right.
Bro, the people said this is awkward, not because it was long, because he gave him his belt and the other gave him his belt. And they were like, what the same thing I was thinking. What is going on here?
So it was awkward. It's like, what are they doing? I'm like,
what are you guys doing? Why are you giving him his belt? And then at the end, Rock says, thank you very much. I appreciate that. What? Aren't you a heel?
Yeah, it was just weird. It was very,
So, what was the other thing that I wanted?
Like they could have taken out that whole. This thing didn't need to be 45 minutes.
No, they needed to trim a good 15 minutes.
They could have taken the exchange of the belts out. So them, I don't know. There's a lot of
he
stuff.
might have ad-libbed. Who knows? And Cody was like, "What? He's already leading you. Now you got to follow him." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but anyways, this was a good, strong segment. But I'm thinking, because The Rock says he would be back, that we might see him at SummerSlam. Because it looks like he's having fun and he wants to come back, and he's done great numbers.
Yeah,
right.
I think he'll be involved somehow. Yeah,
yeah. And there was one last thing I wanted to say about this. I forgot. All right. Here's the thing, bro. Okay, I know you want us to wait, and we will wait. He gives him something in his hand, and he ends it with, "Don't break my heart again." What? I'll wait.
And we'll get the answer. When we get the answer, we'll know. But I got no problem with that. You know?
Right.
Okay. So then we go to Ilya Dragunov beat Shinsuke Nakamura in 4 minutes. NXT champions on the show. This is a short match. Not much to say. This guy's stiff. This Ilya Dragunov. I'm sorry. He's a typical English banger guy. You know, I wouldn't.
He's actually Russian.
A Russian guy. Yeah, but he was from the
right. Yeah, he's trained.
Bro, he had a match of the year with Gunther back.
Yeah.
A couple years ago.
Yeah, he was trained in Europe. Yeah.
Yeah. They're bringing him. You know what? Too, there's a history between him and Gunther. Maybe this little tough little guy is a good foil for Gunther. Maybe they could do some TV with him on the big stage.
Yeah, they would have some great matches.
Yeah. So video recap the McIntyre Seth angle. They showed Drew walking outside the building. They showed Priest walking backstage. So then the Judgment Day. Shot into the giant title belt and set up outside the venue, and Cole set up a WrestleMania recap video. The Judgment Day comes out. Balor, Mysterio, and JD stood in the ring. Balor said all the haters and doubters thought Ripley couldn't beat Lynch and Priest couldn't call his money back contract successfully. He wanted to let them know they were all wrong. Dominic took the mic and got his usual booing out of the building while he introduced Ripley, who made her entrance. Then once in the ring, Ripley looked at her title belt. WrestleMania was almost perfect, but we have a couple new problems that we need to deal with, Ripley said. She said 2 things came out of the weekend. She said Ripley is mammy and is always on top, and this is a new era for the Judgment Day. Then Priest was introduced by Balor, and once Priest was in the ring, the fans started, "You deserve it," chant. He said, "You're damn right I do." Now the Terror Twins stand before you as world champions. Priest said they rise to the occasion. Now the world needs to follow suit and all rise for the Judgment Day. Priest and Ripley held up their title belts, and R-Truth snuck in the ring and joined them by raising up his Raw Tag Team title belt. And Priest said, "Hell no." Truth said he brought the tag team title belts back to Judgment Day. And Truth said he knows they're picky about who they let in the group, but he's only one half of the tag team champions. Then the Miz came out to you know what? I don't agree with this. Jason Powell said that his interest, the flattest reaction of the night. I don't think the reaction was flat. No. He got a pop when his music hits, but
he did.
Oh, he said he spoke as he walked in and entered to the ring. Miz said he doesn't want to be in Judgment Day, and he knows Truth doesn't want to be either. But he said Truth isn't in Judgment Day. Truth said he is.
That's
Miz pulled Truth to the side of the ring, and Miz introduced himself and Truth as the new Raw Tag Team Champions. And Balor said, "Awesome, Truth will have the shortest tag team title reign in history." Balor challenged him to put the titles on the line. Truth said it sounds like fun, but they can't because there's only 3 of us. Miz asked if he was talking about a real person or little Jimmy, and Truth said they could have a 6-man with him and Miz and the guy you can't see. McDonough accepted the challenge, and Miz said he wanted to physically see their partner. Truth tried to introduce the partner, but he and Miz were already attacked by the Judgment Day, and they break it down. They do a 3-on-2, and basically they introduced John Cena, the guy who you can't see, and Cena comes in for the hot tag, and they beat him. This
was actually great, and I felt dumb afterwards because I kept thinking, "Oh, please don't bring this little Jimmy back again."
Right.
I wasn't even thinking.
Oh, you were fooled by. I thought it would be the guy can't see. I said Cena's probably in town. That's probably Cena.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Right. So,
and then it was surprising. I think there was a very faint Cena chant when they got attacked. Like a couple of fans started chanting Cena in the crowd. You could barely hear it, but it didn't catch on. You know, so.
Yeah. So when he did show up and he didn't have to do nothing, they did the 5-knuckle shuffle thing, all three of them, and the attitude adjustment. It was good. It was short, sweet.
Let me tell you how good their booking's been lately, right? Because I'm telling you what they're going to do here, and you can tell. Bro, they love Truth. Okay, Truth's 50-something years old, and like he said everything they've asked him to do, and he's one of the more over characters on this show right now. Right. Okay?
You finally got rewarded.
I think they can keep telling this story, and they can get a pay-per-view title match between Truth and Priest out of this. And I think the fans will buy it too.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
I guarantee you that's the direction.
Not only that, Priest is a big proponent of using Truth in the Judgment Day. It was actually his idea.
Bro, think about this. Okay, the way they're telling all these stories and stuff and everything. What if McIntyre screws Priest and we get a short title reign with our Truth?
People would love it.
Yeah, I think they would. Like I said, Vince McMahon's not booking this company anymore.
Right.
You know, like they could do some things that like you wouldn't think they would do, and they would get, you know, they're going outside the box. You know, so.
You know what's a good on that note about Vince and his style and stuff like that? Ronda Rousey just had a new book come out.
Right.
And the second half, the bulk of it is her WWE run, both of them. And, you know, you'd probably think, oh, I'm not interested in that. I don't know. That's probably not a good book. Her takes on Vince and how things were run and how frustrated she was is one of the best looks at how, you know, frustrating it can be to be involved in that creative. Because she had all these ideas. She wanted to do this and that, and it was supposed to build to this, and they would tell her that's where it was going. And then a week before, they'd yank it out. No, now we're going to have Liv. Yeah, Liv's going to turn, or Liv's going to be no. And then they would just keep it up. And it just, I think, you know, Konnan would probably be like, I don't give a Rousey's book. But the second half is pretty fascinating.
Well, let me tell you why. Well, that is fascinating. It's because she doesn't give a.
Yeah, that's why I bought it.
Well, but the thing with WWE talent, okay, is that even when you leave, nobody there will badmouth Vince McMahon while they're there, and nobody that worked for him will ever really badmouth him before you leave because he's the guy you got to come that has to okay for you to come back. So now that he's not there anymore, I watch out like a lot of if they like talent leaves or something, they're going to start burying Vince, you know, because
we're going to find a lot of stuff
never come back, like the Rybacks and stuff. You know, like they'll never use him again because the guy buried Vince when he left, you know.
Right. Or for a long time, they won't use him like Warrior.
Right. Yeah.
Macho.
So he's kind of like a tyrant in that aspect that people would never really speak up against him, you know? So, yeah. But Rousey, she didn't care. That's what happens when you got tons of money.
Yep.
So Bronson Reed.
What I thought was weird when maybe when she wrote the book, he was still there but I saw an interview of her not too long ago where they were like, would you go back? And she's like, well, things would have to change. Well, yeah, they have changed. Vince is not there anymore. So I didn't understand why she said that.
Very interesting.
Like she alluded a lot to the, you know, harassment claims and the what do you call it? What's the agreement I'm thinking of? The one where you're supposed to be quiet and you aren't anymore, apparently.
NDA.
Yeah. All the NDAs and stuff. And she said, it's hard to sometimes know where the evil, unethical slimeball character of Vince played out for the cameras ends and the actual questionably ethical, many times sued and multiple times accused of misconduct Vince McMahon begins. That blurred line between character and reality is the recurring theme within the WWE universe. But that's not like one of the fast things, but she really digs deep.
Right. So Bronson Reed cut a promo. They said that Drew Uso and Ricochet would all learn a lesson in Raw dominance in the main event because they're doing a 4-way for the to determine the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. And this, when they announced
this title, right?
Yes. And when they announced this, okay, I immediately was like, dude, I'm like, you know, bro, if you want to do like, you know, basically they just went into the typical booking of Raw. Bro, the storyline here is Drew McIntyre has a legitimate gripe. I should be the first guy to begin a rematch automatically.
Yeah.
And that should have been his shtick, not being like he should be complaining about have to be in this 4-way. You know, I got screwed. Like, that was, Punk had to go. That should have been the shtick here. The first match we should be doing is McIntyre against Priest. In my opinion, that's what I would have. I don't know. I don't like
it out before they get to that.
I just think like you have a legitimate gripe. The guy's like obviously the number one contender because he just like the number one and number.
But he could probably complain about that next week.
Are McIntyre and Seth Rollins,
right?
Okay, and then like these guys, could have fought for like a contenders match or something. But like it's more logical storytelling if you continue with Priest, Drew, and Seth. And then you have Truth dangling.
Maybe when they were booking, they were like, "Okay, what do we do with Bronson? What do we do with this guy? You know what? Let's put him in with this
lazy booking to me."
But maybe they're gonna get to where you want. They just this week wanted to put him. They needed to put him in that match so they could use him. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
like they had nothing for them, type of thing.
So backstage, Dominic told Rhea Ripley that he didn't think John Cena would actually come out. She said Cena isn't their problem. She said the problem is that Dom put his faith in Andrade, who betrayed him. Dom said he would deal with the problem and then walked away. And suddenly Ripley was attacked by a chair thrown by Liv Morgan.
Bro, that was great. Did you see that?
That was a good violent attack.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Bam. I was like, what?
That looked good.
Yeah, she hit her in the head with it.
For a couple seconds, it looked real. So
that's why I popped. I was like, what? Yeah.
So they got the NXT Women's Championship.
Like that's something you'd see guys do, not women. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So I guess this you've been watching NXT. They got this Roxanne Perez guy, the Roxanne Perez girl out here, and she's small.
Very small. They like her.
But she kind of brings it with her work.
She does.
But she's small.
She's the type of girl that, remember I was telling you, she's very talented. She can speak. She's Mexican. She was trained. One of her trainer was Daga and Tessa Blanchard. Right. But I met her when she was like 17 because I wanted her to come to Mexico, but she was too young.
What did you mean?
Roxana Perez. Daga introduced me to her. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, and then next thing I know,
she's years old. How old is she now?
Maybe 22 or something.
Right.
Yeah. So,
do you guys want to pop in and take a look at what the Young Bucks are doing with this Punk thing right now, or just
no?
I'm
gonna wait.
Yep.
To watch it later.
Okay.
I watch it at work I watch it start to finish at work at 8:00. So I don't want to watch anything now.
Right.
I actually stay off. I don't look and see what.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay. So Perez goes over.
Right. So Perez is a good wrestler.
Well, let me finish.
Yeah.
Perez is a heel in NXT, and Indy Hartwell is doing the gimmick with Candice LeRae here, who's turning heel, and they kind of kept that little story.
She looked really small next to her too.
She did. Yeah.
But what I was saying last week is these girls like Candice LeRae, like her, like Selena Vega, like those two party girls that never really party. Remember Kaden and Candice?
Right.
Remember? Yeah. Like all those small girls, they should all be in their own division.
Yeah.
And then if they fight
for the girls.
Right. And if they ever fight like a bigger person, it should be in a tag or a 3-man.
Well, she doesn't have a bantamweight division. Right. Sami Zayn was backstage, and him and Uso gave some high fives to each other, congratulating each other. The Roxanne Perez was encountered by Natalya, who said she would see her on NXT, and she said, "No, I'll see you tomorrow night on my show." Perez said before walking away. So they took 15 seconds right there to promote for NXT tomorrow.
Right. Which is nothing.
Right. It's like, what's the purpose? Yeah. So Sami Zayn comes out and they sang his song. We give a "You Deserve It" chant. Said he's been so lucky and has done some historic things. Said he wanted to do something historic again this year, and he thinks he did. Said the person really made history. He's going through. Zayn said the fans can boo, but they can't take his 666-day reign away from him. Zayn said Gunther is the best Intercontinental champion of all time. I still think the Honky Tonk Man is the best Intercontinental champion of all time. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So, but guess what? I beat him. Fans sang the LA song, and Zayn said he got a lot of help from his fans. He said there were times he didn't believe in himself, but the fans did. And Zayn said seeing his wife and son before the match helped him, just as seeing Kevin Owens helped him. Zayn said there was another guy who helped him, and he was interrupted. And Imperium comes out, our evil far-right Europeans.
Right.
Kaiser spoke about how Gunther put in hard work and dedication to make the Intercontinental title the most prestigious title of the WWE. And Kaiser said it breaks his heart to see someone like Sami Zayn hold that title now. Kaiser said Zayn looks like all the peasants in Philadelphia, and added that he looks like a bum.
That was great. Bro, because they had a close-up of Sami, and he does look like a bum.
Right.
The beard, the unkempt hair, yeah.
I just said he and Vinci were there to make things. Him and Giancarlo Da Vinci were there to make things right. And Kaiser set the mic down, and he and Da Vinci removed their warm-up gear and climbed on the apron. And Chad Gable ran out and caused the heels to drop to the floor. And we go to commercial. When we come back, a Sheamus vignette aired. And when they come back, we have a tag match in the ring. Sami Zayn and Chad Gable against Ludwig Kaiser and Giancarlo Da Vinci. And guess who wins? Sami Zayn and Chad Gable.
Listen to this, Disco. So I was on Twitter today, and I saw people complaining that the WWE draft will be on at the same time as the NFL draft, like last year. And they were having to flip between channels. I'm like, why don't you just record one of them?
Well, both of them are going to do awesome numbers because everybody's going to be going back and forth.
Yeah.
So you can get it's just like, yeah.
And, but bro, don't you have a TV that has PIP? Where you can watch two channels at once.
Right. Jey Uso delivered a backstage promo on Drew McIntyre, Bronson Reed, and Ricochet for the main event. Then backstage, Andrade shook hands with Raw General Manager Adam Pearce, the SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis, and then NXT GM Ava before exiting the room. Aldis said Pearce did a great job of recruiting Andrade to Raw, and Aldis said it's a shame that Pearce put all that work in just so he could snag him in the draft. Pearce said there are a couple people would like to see on Raw. Ava said you never know who can end up in NXT, and said they all put their differences aside. You know what's his name? This is funny. Okay. So Jason Powell writes, an escort or Chelsea Green entered the picture and complained that she wasn't included in the biggest WrestleMania of all time, and Green said she would be contacting the top brass. Pierce said they saw her emails, texts, and DMs. Pierce said that's why he had a special match for her. Pierce told her to go to the ring because her moment awaits. And they laughed after Chelsea went to the ring. Did you hear the escort story about Chelsea Green?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, huh?
And the best part is Matt Cardona goes, she does look like an escort. Then,
bro, look, in Vegas, hot girls like walking around in groups of two are always they always like come up to them and ask their IDs and stuff because they think they're escorts.
Really.
Oh, yeah. It all happens all the time. Cole boasted that 17 television events sold out leading into WrestleMania, while a video had graphics showing the various events that sold out. The McAfee once again boasted about the 201,924 attendance for the 5 events held in Philadelphia. It's a lot. Then Chelsea Green's waiting in the ring, and Jade Cargill comes out and clobbers her in 33 seconds. What else? Sami Zayn walked backstage where Chad Gable was celebrating with Otis Tozawa and Maxie Dupree, and Zayn asked if he could have a minute with Gable, so the others exited. Zayn said he figured they were even after he handed him the win. Gable started explaining what he was looking for, but Zayn stopped him and said he knew. Zayn held up the championship and told them it would be an honor to defend his title against him next week in Zayn's hometown of Montreal. I can't wait, Gable said, and Zayn agreed with Gable, and they shook hands. That'd be a good spot for Gable to get Gable some heel heat if he cheats and beats him.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what? Because they've been doing lately, they've been giving people wins in their hometowns.
Right.
They kind of change that. And they've been doing it enough to where I wonder if they might do the heel thing here again, Because that'd be solar heat if he beats him and cheats.
Right.
I
think they'll take it away.
Oh, so this was great. So Drew comes out for the main event, and he doesn't do any fanfare for his entrance. He walks straight to the ring.
Right. He's in great shape, by the way.
Yeah. Called for the music stop and said what happened the night before was BS. He said his title reigns lasted 5 minutes and 46 seconds. The people started. He said, "Oh, you think that's funny?" He said, "That's 5 minutes longer than most of you fans." That was a funny line.
Right.
McIntyre said he might not like Rollins, but he respects him. And McIntyre said he and Rollins shared a moment that only warriors know about. McIntyre said that that bondage Undertaker, Damian Priest, screwed it all up. Bro, they were calling him the what was the thing that was trending over the weekend about the Priest? Is something under the gay Undertaker or something like that? The bisexual Undertaker.
Right.
That was the people were calling him the bisexual Undertaker. That was trending all weekend on Twitter. Bisexual Undertaker. It's like, fans are weird. McIntyre said he would say that he would Priest, but he'd probably enjoy it. McIntyre said the money in the bank briefcase is a joke that has now cost him the championship twice. McIntyre said he's coming for Priest and laid him nothing more than a transitional champion. Said McIntyre said Priest may have had the contract, but he didn't cause what happened. McIntyre blamed that CM Punk. He recalled saying he would win the title, have a moment with his family, and then rub it in Punk's face. And McIntyre said that's what he did. He called Punk a coward for sweeping his legs the moment he took his eye off and then hitting him with his brace. The McIntyre said he knew Punk would go into hiding because he's going after his weakest part. The McIntyre said just so happens that Punk, he said it's on site. Like from now on, it's on site with you. You know,
right.
And McIntyre said it just so happened that Punk's whole body is his weakest part. This was a really good promo before the match.
Yeah, he's on fire.
Yeah, then Jay comes out, interrupted him to interrupt his interview. But so then they had the 4-way, and we get near the end, and it comes out to Jay and McIntyre. McIntyre put Jay down with the Future Shock DDT and went to the corner and counted, but went to the corner for the Claymore kick and started the countdown 3, 2, 1. But at 1, he started running, coming out of the corner, but looked at somebody who's grabbing his leg and looked down. It was CM Punk. Jay took advantage of the distract and super kicked him, speared him, and hit him with the top row splash for the win. So Punk screwed him again, and Punk stood on the announce table afterwards and gloated that he cost McIntyre again. Well, the McIntyre Punk angle is so good because they're just trolling each other back and forth, and they're one up.
And as you saw in WrestleMania, and you saw here, you know, he seems to be moving that arm a little bit better. So we may see him in action sooner than
Joe. When was what was the date of Royal Rumble?
Was January 27th.
January 27th. So February 27th, March 27th. So it's 9 weeks. And 2. Okay, so 11 weeks. Let me look at this here. Torn tricep recovery time.
And remember, he said in that Hawani interview that he wasn't too sure. Like I maybe could have gone through with it because he was feeling so good. Maybe I could have had the match. Yeah.
Almost, because if they're bro, let's be honest. You know, Punk is probably he's super rich, so I'm sure he's getting like the best, you know, care that you can get.
Right.
You know, so
maybe
he might be back
in themselves. Yeah.
So he'll definitely be back, but before SummerSlam for sure. So yeah, that's interesting. 4 to 6 months. So he's almost he's not far away. Interesting. Okay, here it is. Tricep tendon rupture repair and rehabilitation. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, talk about the phases of this. Okay, phase 1 is 0 to 2 weeks. The patient is advised not to use the arm for any weight-bearing activities. Phase 2, which is 2 to 4 weeks, they're converted into a range of movement brace. Okay, phase 3, which is 4 to 6 weeks, the range of movement of the elbow brace is increased. And now we're in phase 4, 6 to 12 weeks. The elbow brace is removed and patients are allowed a full range of movement. They're advised to avoid heavy lifting, any activities that cause them pain. The aim of this phase is to commence strengthening and kinetic chain exercises at the same time as being aware of reduced vascularity. So phase 5, 12 weeks, is to gradually return the patient to sporting activity. Wow. So he's only 8, 9, 10. He's like a couple weeks away from starting the rehab.
Yeah, I had a torn tricep too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I was back in like 3 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I was looking at was that on Monday, his brace, I think, kind of came off, or he took it off, and he was already kind of like flexing his arm. So
yeah, well, that's what what they said of this. Your range of movement is back, but no exercise, no strenuous activity. But then you'll be starting the exercise thing.
Right. So
interesting.
Yeah. So that's red hot. Uso's red hot. You know, they got him hotter here, and you still got a disgruntled McIntyre who's willing to kill CM Punk. So some good
on site.
Yeah, and it's on site. Yeah.
So that was actually good. Yeah, I liked. I don't like the 4-way to determine the number one contender.
Right. I just think they didn't have anything else for them to do, and they just put him in there because McIntyre's hot right now, and they were going to get a pop with Punk, and they were going to get Uso over more than he already is. And
my prediction is that they're heading towards a pay-per-view title match between Priest and Truth. So that would be very interesting. Yeah, it will be interesting. So we'll see that, and then the people will be popping for that huge. They would want Truth to win. Right. All right. So that's been our Raw review.
Boom. Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.